Greetings and salutations, Dave, or I guess technically I should call you Dead on Dave. This is Christopher Daniels.
Hey everyone, it's the Native American Tatanka. Want to give a big shout out to Dead on Dave.
Dave, this is Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Dead on Dave. What's up, man? It's the coach.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it. Dead on Productions. Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, the most gorgeous fat man in all of the internet. You know it's true. Just look at me. Look at me. Oh, great. The ticker's not working. That's lovely. All right, that's all right. The ticker does need to work. Just imagine like the ticker was there, showing everybody's donations. There seemed to be something wrong with Twitch tonight, but that's okay. What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic time. Yes, we're a little late with the Raw review. Had a little bit of problem with the internet last night. Was not able to go live. Just very inconsistent all night. But you know what? That's how it goes sometimes. But here I am making it up, pulling double duty for you. That's right. We're going to do the Raw review. We're going to knock it out really quick. Nothing too flashy. Got a whole bunch of notes. And then I'm going to get out of here so we can be ready for SmackDown tonight. SmackDown tonight. Everybody wants the I intro. You know what? I meant to give you the regular Raw intro. Hit the wrong one. But don't worry. I have a feeling the I will be making a comeback tonight for the SmackDown review. So, you know, stay frosty, folks. Stay frosty. Anyway, we got a lot to get to. A lot happened in Monday Night Raw, a show that I actually really enjoyed. I've heard from a few people that were not very enthused with the show, but there was quite a bit that I enjoyed about it. I felt that it was, especially considering it was not a heavily watched show because of, you know, the double duty of Monday Night Football. I thought they did a really good job with a lot of storytelling angles. I thought that we had 4 very, very, very solid matches throughout the night. 2 really, really great ones and then 2 super solid ones. We're going to talk about that and everything else. Instead of going with the lead like we usually do, the big ending that happened, let's go ahead and get right in to the copious amounts of notes. Let's not dick around with it too much. Want to knock this out in a timely manner. Big shout out to everybody who's here hanging out with me, your copious fat man, as we get ready to pull 2 reviews in one night. I see Makad 114, Easy Freezy up in here, Matthew Camarillo, Terry Snow Queen, Kyan Patel, Joe Martin, Frenchie Ben. We got everybody here. So let's go with it, shall we? Let's start the copious amounts of notes. All right. I love the set. First and foremost, I love the set. I love the way it looks. It looks important. It's so beautifully designed. This might be my favorite Monday Night Raw set design they've ever had. I think it's really, really good. The women kick it off, which is, as the norm, very hit and miss. It was a tad draggy, but some of the face-offs were pretty well done. Bayley needed to be a little more assertive, but I understand the reasoning for it. You want someone to go with her down the line, and you start her off tentative and then let that lion, that tiger, come out later on, which is always nice. So I'm sure we'll see it at some point. Got to admit, this goes for not only the promo, but for the match itself as well. Dana was kind of the standout, which is so weird for me to say. I didn't know my tongue and mouth could formulate those words and that structure. Of course, my wife waits for me to start the show to say goodnight. Good night, my beautiful wife. Go get some sleep. Always have to make everything about you. I love you. Get some rest. Good night, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Guten Nacht, mein Frau. Love you too. Ich liebe dich auch. Ja, ich liebe dich. Ich liebe dich auch. Good night. Love you. All right. Shut up, everybody. Shut up. All right. The promo I didn't hate, even though I do feel it was a little bit draggy. The slap to Charlotte was easily the best thing of the segment. Although Charlotte herself was easily the worst thing of the segment. I hate the way Charlotte talks. She's so mechanical and stiff. My God. But I enjoyed what Dana brought to the table, man. That's a really good thing about her, that it's starting to develop a little bit. I was really worried that she was never going to come together. Unfortunately, she still looks ridiculous in the ring as far as her outfit. Needs to get fixed, but I'm seeing a little bit of a future for Dana, which I have not seen up to this point. So that was encouraging. Sasha is still Sasha. She is just all the time. It's who she is. She's a consummate worker. I do feel like her biggest issue is on the mic. When she's good, she's great. When she's bad, she's worse. And it always seems to happen in the same promo. And that's a little bit of a problem, but still not too bad. All of this leads, of course, to a number one contenders three-way dance. And that's what we open up with as far as the matches go. They seem to put the most faith in Dana that they've ever put in her since she has been an active competitor. She was the only one that did not take a break. I thought she did her best work in the ring as of yet. I gotta say, I'm worried about Sasha though. I don't think she's healed. Her back really, really worries me. I know that they were working it. They were, you know, it was a little bit of a story, but I'm worried about that back. She's so tiny. She's so thin. There's nothing there, man. There is nothing to absorb the amounts of damage, and she bumps so hard. I'm just really worried about her long term. She is not going to be a wrestler that wrestles late into her 30s. Not going to happen. Bayley was the standout and the workhorse, as always. This is the norm. It's what we're very expectant of Bayley. Really cool finish, which I thought was going to lead to some controversy, as it appeared to me that Bayley and Sasha both were pinned, but nothing came of it. So that probably just a botch, but didn't take anything away. Nobody made reference, just kind of let it go, forgot about it. Really, really great opening match. I thought they all had a lot of great stuff. Sasha is officially the number one contender. I feel it did some good arcs there with Dana and Charlotte. Now, yes, Dana did ultimately go back to Charlotte, but you feel like there's something there brewing. That's nice to see, so I'm not really hating any of that. I thought it was a really good way to start the night. I do wish the promo was a little bit shorter, but overall, I enjoyed the open. After that, we get the Shining Stars in a skit where it seems their gimmick really is just their swindler timeshare salesman, which for some reason I found funny. I kind of liked it. Finally, something interesting about their character instead of just talking about come to Puerto Rico. They're trying to fucking take your money. I kind of like that. I don't know why, but I do. It was all just to lead to a match with Cass, or just actually Enzo, I should say. Enzo and Epico later on in the night. But decent stuff backstage. Nothing that's going to blow you away, but something to keep the narrative going. I mean, that was kind of the theme of the night. Things that kept the narrative going. Nothing stopped the show tonight. Like last week, the old day shit brought the show to a grinding halt. Nothing like that happened tonight, and that's rare in Monday Night Raw. 3 hours is a long time to program, so it happens. But I didn't feel like that happened last night. Pretty impressed by that, actually, because it's hard to do. Backstage interviews is where I think everything got most intriguing for me. And it all started with Kevin Owens and Tom Phillips, or Felipe, or whatever name they were trying to call him. Kevin Owens just feels like a true champion. No bullshit, no hyperbole. He feels like a real champion to me. He really does. I'm actually a big fan of everything that he's doing. I'm glad that he's still the same guy he was before the championship run. I like that. So that's pretty good there. This was followed up by Y2J, who continues to lay golden eggs. Y2J, baby! Ask him or you're gonna get it. I love it. I love how he's just continued to reinvent himself, continue to just churn out catchphrases. He's amazing. He's just absolutely great. And the fact that they keep layering him and Kevin Owens, it's good stuff. When they have their feud, which you know is coming, it should be really cool and very, very interesting. They followed that up with Bo Dallas. I like where they're going with Bo's character. I enjoyed the poetry. As you know, I'm a haiku man myself, so I'm a very, very big proponent of this type of storyline. I don't exactly know where it's going, which I kind of like. I felt some Bray Wyatt in his voice. You know, he is his brother, so it makes sense. And I love his more aggressive ring style. It's not bad for what it was, which was a jobber squash. Considering that's what it was, it certainly wasn't that bad. And Bo did his job so well that the crowd actually started chanting Brandon Scott. I kind of dug that. That was kind of cool. The highlight reel followed that, which was easily one of the best highlight reels I can remember in a very long time. Sami Zayn was the guest, and he was absolutely on fire. I mean, ridiculously on fire. I was so impressed with what Sami was doing. He actually outperformed Y2J, which is an unbelievable compliment. Eventually, after the back and forth got super heated, Y2J smacks Sami in the head with a friggin' phone and then code breakers him when Sami went a little bit too far. Great segment. I love that they're making this feud, and we're going to get a match between them and Night of Champions. Or, I'm sorry, Clash Champions. Can't wait for it. That's going to be fun. I see Jonathan Montez, kill code 66687. Carl Gibney have all joined the chat. What's up, guys? Glad that you're here. Thanks for joining me. Very much appreciated. So I love that feud. I love the segment. Next up was the best of 7, match 5 in their series. I know there was a lot of trepidation about this series at the beginning because they had already had so many matches already. But I got to be honest here. This series has turned into something far more interesting than I ever thought it was going to be. It's a classic comeback story for Cesaro. And I'm just enjoying the fact that their matches have not been wrestled the same way yet. They have not had the same match in all 5 matches except for the 4th one that we didn't get to see, of course. But all the ones that we've gotten to see, none of them have been wrestled the same way. And tonight we saw a very unique close with Cesaro getting the gap down to 3-2 with a little bit of cheating. I kind of dug it. I was like, all right, I kind of like this. Good job, Cesaro. Worked for me. I was like, all right, this will work. Good shiza, Mr. Cesaro. I did not hate it. Back to the back, where I really felt there was so much shining going on. We saw that with Foley and Seth. I think this is getting interesting. I'm sorry. I may be very alone in that. But I think it feels like Mick is bringing Seth back to the light, or trying to. You know, the way he's talking to him, almost mentoring him in ways. Seth trying to make things about Stephanie and Hunter and everything. He feels almost a little bit broken by the fact that Triple H has cast him aside for a better replacement, Golden Boy. There's so much angst in what he's saying. And I see the other side of this coming out, where he's going to be just that face that we all know that he needs to be. And Foley, while his acting is not top notch, he does go over the top. I kind of enjoy the over the top. That is the thing about Foley. He's always been over the top. As Mankind, as Cactus Jack, especially as Dude Love, over the top is what Mick Foley does. And I gotta say, for what it is, it never feels hokey to me. It just feels Mick to me, and I like that. It just feels Foley. Not hokey, Foley. It just feels genuinely Foley, and I like that. So I don't hate on it too much. I thought it was a very cool little thing in the back to do. After that, Alicia Fox drawing the very tough assignment of Nia Jax. Nia Jax finally not having a full jobber squash match. But my God, is Nia a fucking monster. I'm not dropping too many F-bombs anymore, but that is one I will drop right there. She is an absolute beast. I enjoyed the work of this match, although I wish this and some of the other matches had a little bit more meat to them, a little bit more heft, that went a little bit longer. But this was about destruction. Alicia got a good boot in, but that spear through the barricade was awesome. You don't see women do that too often because there's not too many that can. Nia is scary. I like the whole, I like Alicia's attitude. I like the craziness. I like that Nia's not buying into the craziness. I'm a fan of Nia Jax. She is scary. Scary. The New Day followed that up, and they cut easily one of their best promos they've had in quite a long time, burying that god-awful old day shit from last week. This leads to a match when the club does finally come down. Oh, what happened? Finally, they seem more focused on just being badasses. Just badass. Finally, what took so long? No, Jesus, man. What's his ass? Finally didn't say ski after every word. They're finally just go in there and perform. And I have to say, the match that it led to, which was a rematch of their SummerSlam match, I felt it was a better match than that match. I liked what they did tonight. Same four guys, Woods and Kofi, Big E on the outside. Thought this match was really, really solid. The club go over clean, and I think they're starting to win over some of the crowd because they're looking like a serious threat to the New Day. No one's looked like a threat to the New Day. Nobody. That's been the one big drawback of the New Day is nobody is really taking them to the limit. The clubs seem to be doing that, and I'm really enjoying that storytelling. Very well done. Finally, it's happening. Jesus. And I think it's time to take the belt off the New Day. They've had it forever, and I don't feel like they're one of those groups that don't necessarily need the belt to continue to be who they are. So it will not bug me too much to see the club win the titles and kind of get over as that super big tag team. I think that we need that at this point. Just my opinion. After that, we get Jinder Mahal versus Jack Swagger, who took a break from building rings because that's what he does for WWE now, apparently. You know, sweeps up backstage, does some catering, whatever you need him to do. Jinder debuts a new gimmick where he's trying to give you all his peace. Is this how he does it? I think that's how he does it. Give you my peace. And then he says some peace word. I like it. The talent has always been there for Jinder Mahal. He's never had a gimmick that was worth a damn. He gets the victory over a very, very frustrated Jack Swagger. After that, we get to see Jack go in the back, and they tease his contract for Raw expiring. Maybe he's SmackDown bound, maybe with a new attitude, which he desperately needs. As for Jinder, like I said, he has always had the talent. Maybe there's something there. I don't know if the peace gimmick... I don't know I'm doing it right. I don't know if the peace gimmick is the gimmick for him, but I don't hate it. So let's see where it's going to go. After that, we get Enzo Amore and Epico. It's the same thing every week with Enzo and Cass. I mean, we get the typical Enzo talk. I mean, if you like it, you love it. I'm honestly getting a little bit tired of it. You know, it's the same stuff. And I didn't think it was going to wear on me this quickly, but it kind of has. It kind of has. Cass, I like when Cass talks a little bit more and doesn't just give his catchphrase. Enzo, he can rush his delivery sometimes, and a lot of times nobody really understands what the hell he's saying. But it's a lot of the same stuff, and which is unfortunate because they're such a great tag team. I don't know if this little bit of waver is because of who they're facing. I understand why. You have to build a division in both SmackDown and Raw, so you're going to have to take a team out of the main hunt and put them on a cooler into the middle of the division, and you're going to have to use them to make another tag team look good. In this case, it's Primo and Epico, which I don't hate this. The match wasn't terribly bad. Cass and Enzo, I should say, takes the loss after a lot of cheating out of the Shining Stars. I didn't hate it, didn't love it, but I certainly didn't hate it either. The match was fairly solid for what it was. I didn't hate it. It's just, it feels just a little out of place, you know, because if you're a big fan of Enzo and Cass, you're going to be pissed off here. And I get that, but I don't think it's necessarily something that you could say, oh, you know, you can't have them go up against the New Day because one of them is going to suffer from it, because you're not making the New Day's heel, and you're certainly not making Cass and Enzo heel. This is what's going to help with having the club as the tag champions, because that way the New Day can kind of explore something else, maybe going after another title. Maybe Xavier Woods, if he's under 205, maybe he can go to the light heavyweight division, the cruiserweights, whatever. I don't think he's under 205, though. I think that's wishful thinking. Kofi might be a better bet for 205, but still, it feels like they could do something else. I'm not exactly sure what. Maybe a little bit of feud with Kevin Owens. I don't know. But I kind of like to see them go somewhere else and let Cass and Enzo step into that spot to take on the club next in the tag team division. I think it would be good to see that happen. It could be a lot of fun. This leads us to the main event. Before the match in the back, Kevin Owens absolutely obliterates Seth Rollins on the mic. I mean, damn. And Mick has to plead with Seth not to interfere. We all knew he was going to, but I really enjoyed that. I'm enjoying Seth and Mick. I think it's working quite well. I like them together. I like what they're doing. I feel like there's this extra layer of we're going to have this mentorship. It's kind of cool. I kind of dig it. And Kevin Owens was just absolutely ruthless on the mic, and that was really cool to see. I enjoyed the main event. Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens. I felt like Roman was not carried in this match. I know, what a weird thing to say. Roman added a lot to it. Seth would, of course, eventually interfere. After a long stint of match there, Foley comes out, goes ballistic, ends up restarting the match with KO would ultimately win when Rusev would stick his big schnoz in there. Show ends with Roman's destruction, which I thought was very effective, and their feud is back on, and I thought it was all very well done. Lana seemed reinvigorated. She seems a little bit more vicious and evil, as my good man Dusty Rhodes would say. She seems like a devilish woman, baby. And I like that. Thought it was very well done there. Not a big fan of Rusev. Not a big fan of Reigns. But these two together, when it's not done all cake throwing and hokey, I think there's something here. And if it leads to Roman getting the United States Championship off of Rusev, I think it's all going to end well. It's going to continue on Roman getting over. You know, it's so funny. Roman gets booed all the time. But as his matches lately have gone on, he has won over crowds. They'll turn on him, of course, because it's just cool to boo Roman Reigns. But I think he's winning people over, man. He seems to be improving. So I really enjoyed the main event. I thought it was very, very well done. I liked the show pretty well. It wasn't a great Raw by any stretch, but it was a very solid Raw, I felt. So let's go to we're not going to gild the lily or anything. We're going to get to your guys' comments, calls in just a moment. But let's go ahead and hit them review standards real quick, because you know how this works, man. We're scientific here. Commentary, I liked overall, but Saxon he is just the worst thing in any commentary booth today. Overall, though, I'm going to give the commentary a 7 out of 10. I thought it was very solid. Corey Graves, Michael Cole, even Michael Cole did a really good job, but they have to constantly correct Saxton, and that is a problem. But aside from Byron being terrible, Corey is so good, and Michael Cole is just focusing on calling matches. I think it was a pretty damn good night in commentary, which is not always the case. Production was amazing. The set was gorgeous. Camera work was friggin' just spot on tight. Production, I give an 8.5. I thought it was really, really good. Promos, I thought, was really on point. There was a lot of meaning, lots of narrative. It was really cool to see that. Very little drag. Even the minor stories had at least accomplished something throughout the night. So I give it a 7 for promos. I thought the promos were very solid. As for the wrestling, first and last matches were great, as was the story told by Cesaro and Sheamus. The tag team match between the Club and the New Day felt very fresh as their story moved into a new, strong direction. Some of the minor stuff did feel like filler at times, but overall, very solid ring work. 7 out of 10 for me. This gives it a 29.5 total score divided by 4, because that's how averages work. Gives us a very solid score of 7.375. I think it's a really, really solid Monday Night Raw. Was it the best Raw? No. I don't feel it was boring, though. I don't feel it was draggy. I actually did enjoy it. It was just my kind of thing. When you could tell a story throughout the night and there's nothing that grinds the show to a halt, and you can look at 4 matches and say, damn, and you can look at 2 or 3 promos and go, damn. That, to me, is the mark of a really solid Monday Night Raw, especially one that's following their competition's pay-per-view. So I didn't hate it. That's all from me. Now it's up to you guys to keep this show going, because I don't want to go too long, because I do have SmackDown tonight. So let's take some calls. Now's your time. Call on Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or, of course, use the number 702-751-2902. All of this is right below. You can see. Boom. all that stuff is a blow. Go ahead and call in now. We will take your stuff, your hopes, your dreams, your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, your critiques, your criticisms. Yes, all of it we're going to take it now. We got our first caller. It's the bubbly man, Joseph B. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? You're live with Dead on Dave.
Bubbly. Doing all right. I just want to make a quick point about the tag team situation. Sir. I think that you're right. The New Day have held the titles for too long. I mean, yeah. I don't even necessarily think that it's just because of the time. I think them as faces is kind of getting a bit stale.
Yeah.
I thought that they did all of their best. They move
merch, man. They move so much merch.
They move a lot of merch.
They're the top merch guys, apparently. I mean, they move everything. When you can move cereal, you can move anything. So, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they did a lot of their best work as heels. I mean, I like them as faces. These are three obviously really talented, charismatic guys. But
it's when they get edgy is when they're at their best, even as faces.
Yeah. I think that when you over gimmick them like they did last week.
Oh God, that was awful.
But I mean that's the same with anyone really.
Yeah, it is true.
I think they are probably going to drop the titles at the next pay-per-view, but I think they'll win them back at the one after. I think
they'll win it back at Survivor Series. Maybe not the one directly after, but by Survivor Series they'll win it back. The club needs a nice little 2-3 month run, 2-month run really. It's time.
You see, it's time for another team to hold it, regardless of who it is. Really, I mean. I'd rather it not be the club, considering I like the two.
I like them so much.
I like them, but I just it's the way that they've been used, especially in the past few months.
Because they're kind of letting them do their own thing because they feel like they're really funny when the problem is not so much. You know, It's like things that would work other places just doesn't work here, and we've seen it done better. That's the problem. We've seen the NWO shtick better. We've seen it done multiple times better, and it just. I don't know, but as a tag team, when they're judged just on their tag team work, they're amazing. They're so good.
As wrestlers, there's no argument.
Yeah.
No argument at all against them. But I just think as well, I mean, the WWE, it tries to pretend as though there's this mystique around them because of the amazing stuff that they did in Japan.
Yeah.
And we know.
Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Yeah.
You know, unless you're a mark, then you don't.
We know and we care, but we don't need to be reminded of it. You know, we know.
And the casual fans have no idea.
No idea. They're lost. They're like, what's Japan?
I mean, they remember Luke Gallows.
I have no idea. Yeah, they just remember him as Festus. That's it.
And the Straight Edge Society.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Yes.
One of CM Punk's better gimmicks before he turned heel and became an MMA fighter.
That's right. That's right. Oh God, how sad. How sad. Yeah, but I don't hate it. I want to see the club as champions. I think they're finally starting to win some people over. Finally.
I think that even if it's not. I don't even think that this particularly matters for the club. I think that just for the division, you need to make the New Day look beatable, regardless of who it is. Because I mean, I'd like to have seen Cass and Enzo in the title picture at this point. To be honest,
can't do it with a New Day though. There's no like you can do face versus face with a lot of teams. Those are not the two teams to do it with. It's just, I don't think that because the way that they go after each other, they go after teams with the way they do promos, one of them's going to look weak and I think they'll damage the other. So you can't have them together going after each other as faces. When one does it inevitably turn heel, which I'm going to assume the New Day at sometime will, then you can have that feud and it'll be so much fun. But for now, you put the belts on Cass and Enzo, on the club, then Cass and Enzo can come back into the title picture, which I think is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I do think that the New Day will. We agree though that the New Day will be champions again because I mean, they don't need the titles, but I think that the WWE they like to keep the titles on them because it keeps them on the show all the time in a prominent position.
Yeah,
especially with emphasis. Serial.
Yeah, but they're not doing nothing though, man. God, they have can you remember any memorable New Day match in a while? It's been a long time.
When was the ladder match with the
almost a year ago?
Wow.
It feels like it was forever.
I was gonna say, like, I'm trying to think back. I mean,
it was Extreme Rules, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is close to a year ago because it's coming up again at some point.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
And I mean, these were the hottest guys in the promotion at one point. I mean, there was a time.
Well, they still kind of are. It's just the wrestling is just, they're not doing anything in the ring.
There was a time when they were heels, and just about when they first turned face, where they were literally the only reason why I was watching Raw.
Agreed.
And I mean, that was sort of a really bad time for Raw in general. But I mean, they were the light of the show.
Yeah, they were.
They were the light of the show because they were funny and they were talented.
And then right around the time they did that time travel gimmick.
Oh
God, that's where it fell off for me, man. I felt like they jumped when they brought out a refrigerator box, which could have been funny, just wasn't.
It was the jumping the shark moment.
Yeah, it was. But the New Day is still going to be the New Day at the end of the day. So
I think that I think that in the new year, when we get to like Royal Rumble time, the big New Day with the titles are going to have a big feud with the Revival.
Yeah, it might be time to start thinking about pillaging some of the, which I know Matt Morgan is like going crazy about on his podcast. It's time just to rape the NXT. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but the tag team division needs a few
The cupboard is somewhat bare at the moment in NXT, isn't it?
I think it's sort of. I feel like there are some guys that certainly can see down the road. The tag team is overflowing. Tag team division, there's
you've got TM61, Authors of Pain, that sort of thing.
Ciampa and Gargano, I feel like they're coming up next week, right? With the cruiserweight division, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you'd imagine so.
You think so? I don't know.
I mean, I think that they'll have a big career on the main roster.
Yeah, we'll see. You got anything else for me there, Mr. Bubbly?
No, you can throw me over.
All right, my friend. I appreciate that. I just don't want to go too long because I do have SmackDown tonight. So.
Of course. Bubbly.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. It's Joseph Blunt, everybody. I appreciate that. Anybody else wants to call in? Now's the time on Skype. David Vancura or the number 702-751-2902. Hey, by the way, funny story about me. You guys know that I'm trying to lose weight, trying to lose some weight and shite. And I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I was cursed by a gypsy. I don't know if I'm dying. I don't know. But I'm down to 305. I was 311 like 5 days ago. Down to 305. I'm about to hit my mark of 300. I'm very happy about that. Let's take another call. 931. You're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
I gotta say, last night's Raw wasn't horrible, but it was nothing to write home about.
No, I think it was a solid show overall. I do feel there was a lot of good narrative that was done. Was it spectacular? No, but like when you can point to 4 matches that were well above average and you can point to 2 or 3 moments in the back that were really, really good promo-wise, to me, I don't feel you can knock the show.
No, for me, for a show to be good, it has to be great. For a show to be great, for me,
stupid. That's stupid. Wait a second. To get one rank, it has to be better than the rank that it was? What kind of backwards fucking Alabama shit is that? I don't know why Alabama, but it seems like something an Alabama would do. What is that? But I bet it doesn't work the other way. If it's bad, it just sucks. The second a Raw goes bad, I'm sure, it sucks. It's awful. It's irredeemable. But like, for it to be good, it's got to be great? What? Come on, man. Get out of here with that. Please continue.
No, that's it. The stuff with Mick, Edge, and Seth, it's something that you wouldn't think would work, even when it does.
Yeah. Is this old school, Matt?
Who else do you know with a 931 number?
I don't. But I always forget. You got to remember, stroke brain. I should have figured a comment like that would have came from you. Jesus, only a man who lives in a hearse would say something like that.
Well, it would either come from me or a guy that strikes out with every woman he knows.
Yeah, well, you get tased by your girlfriend, so I mean, don't talk too much shit.
Fair enough. But
Fair enough.
I stand by it, though. The whole mix fucking set thing is just a weird combination that defies logic by working.
Yeah, you know what? I don't see why it wouldn't necessarily work, but especially when you're telling the stories that you're telling, because they're all good performers. You know, I mean, Mick. If you like Mick, you like Mick. If you don't, you don't. That's how Mick Foley is. He's always been that way. He'll always be that way. I'm a fan, and I enjoy what he does. So seeing what he's able to do with this new role with Seth and his transition has been interesting to me. I've actually really enjoyed it. So, anything else, Mr. Old School?
When the hell is Triple H coming back?
You know what? I'm glad they're slow burning that. I'm glad that Kevin Owens called him his mentor this week. I like that they are just laying little bit of Easter eggs. They're not doing anything fast. They're slow burning this story. I think it's a very smart move. God, your awkward fucking silences, Old School Matt. Get out of here. Over the top rope you go. If you go more than 4 seconds without talking, I can't deal with that. Get out of here, Old School. I love you. Take it easy. Oh, my God. Joining me now, the sexiest man in all of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It's Frenchie Ben. What's going on, my friend?
I'm doing good, Dave. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I do. That was only 3 seconds, though, Ben. It was almost close to an awkward silence. Good job.
Yeah, I was muted.
That wasn't. It was funny because I just got on Old School Matt for awkward silence, and the first thing you do is an awkward silence. Ben, hey, what you got for me, buddy?
305. Congrats, Dave, for the weight loss.
I know. I'm pretty happy about it. I'm stoked.
But you lose weight and you gain subs, so everything's fine.
One's going in the proper direction, and so is the other. It's symmetry. It's kind of beautiful. The thing that I'm losing is a good thing, and the thing that I'm gaining is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. You know, I love poetry, Ben, and that's poetry.
Yeah, life can be great sometimes.
It can be almost just poetic, almost just movie-like. Not quite, because there'd be more Scarlett Johansson in my movie, but that's just me. What's up, buddy? What'd you think of Raw? I know you were not the biggest fan of Raw.
No, but I listened to it yesterday. Maybe it was the first time in 8 weeks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, I don't know how you can get through that for 3 hours, week after week. You guys are tough.
You know, I got to say, it's been a lot worse as of late than last night's show. And I don't know. I don't know if you're like Old School Matt, where for it to be good, it has to be great. But I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad. There's nothing ground the show to a halt. Usually, as of late, when the bad shows have been going on, there are 2 or 3 moments throughout the 3 hours that literally nothing happens. We didn't have that last night, to me.
No. Okay, but what they do is they give you 2 or 3 great moments in the whole night. But I get what they do. They tone down the shows so the pay-per-views look better. To me, it's a tactic. It's the way they go.
I hope it's not, because that actually takes it a little bit away from me if that's the case. I'm like, really, you bunch of dicks? I kind of don't like that. I'd rather them just kind of fail, just like trying things and screw up. That at least makes me feel like they're human.
But there's some little things they could tweak just to make it better. I want to talk about Charlotte a bit.
Oh, God.
While she was, first of all, she receives a slap in the face, and just the way they ask her to react is not good.
She's a robot. She's mechanical.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's in the script that she doesn't react that much about the slap and Dana Brooke. But to me, it's goofy.
You think that it's in the script. You don't know that it's in the script. Did you read the script? I mean, that could just be on Charlotte, man. I mean, Charlotte could just be that bad at what she does. I feel like there's different. I think there's different types of slaps. I felt like we saw 2 different slaps. We saw the slap last week that Charlotte gave to Dana, and Dana sold it hard, and it looked like it actually physically hurt her. Tonight, I felt the Dana Brooke slap, which was harder and more physical. Charlotte didn't sell as hard physically, but I thought her face showed a lot more emotional shock. Like she was genuinely surprised by it. And I kind of like that.
But to me, it's not.
Charlotte drives me nuts, though.
No, it's not the physical part of it. It's the psychological part of it. She's supposed to react more in a mean way against her.
Yeah, it feels like she should have been more pissed off. But I think that's where the shock comes in, because she couldn't believe what just happened. She's been treating Dana like shit forever. And so maybe that's why she doesn't attack, because she's just shocked that this subservient woman actually finally attacked her at the weirdest time, too. I mean, like, of all the times that Dana could have lost her shit, last night does seem like an odd choice, but I didn't hate it. I liked Dana for the first time in forever. I actually liked Dana last night.
Yeah, the thing that really bothered me is Charlotte on commentary, because she kind of say the good things, but she doesn't phrase it in a good way.
Yeah.
For example, she was asked about her future opponents, if they could beat her, and she told, what did she told? They have what it takes to beat me, but they won't.
Yeah,
that's only what she says. You
Very
know,
generic.
you have to put over your future opponent like her dad did.
Or you bury him like her dad did. Because he was so good at doing either way, and that's one of the things that was magical about Ric Flair.
Yeah, and if we take Hulk Hogan, he was good in it. That's part of his game. That he was making the other look bigger than he was. So when he beats him, he looks even greater.
That's the role of a champion, Ben. That is the actual role of a champion. Yes, they're there to be the main draw to help bring people in the gate. But their main job when they are holding that belt is to make other people look like they are ready to take the belt off of them. That is their main job. Anybody who feuds with a champion is supposed to come out of that feud looking better than they did before it. And Charlotte, that is where she fails.
Yeah.
That's where she fails. That's her biggest failure. And it's the most important thing and the worst thing that she can fail at, and that's what she does.
For example, if I come back to the Dana Brooke slap, she was asked about it by Michael Cole, and she told, I'm her mentor. What do you expect?
Right.
But it's not the thing that we are supposed to say.
It doesn't feel like, and Byron kept stepping on her too.
The student wants to surpass his master, not by slapping him necessarily. So,
well, it could be the first step into a feud, but here's the problem with that. Because of the other talent that is there on the roster, until Charlotte loses the belt, you can't fully have a full-on rift between the two. You've got to keep them together because Dana's not a title competitor in any sense of the word. No matter how good she looked last night, which I thought she did look really good in the ring. I did. For the first time ever, I was really impressed with her. But because you have Sasha, Bayley, and waiting in the wings, Nia Jax, there's no way you can have Dana as a legitimate title contender. But when Charlotte loses the belt, I think that's when you fully go with that and you give Charlotte a chance to put over Dana and make her a more promising women's competitor in the future.
It would be a good way to go at it.
That's the way I would do it.
Another little thing that I liked, at first I thought it was goofy and stupid because sometimes they go to the break with a little teaser. And at one point it was Enzo and Cass, so you know they're coming later. But then at one point they showed Bo Dallas as a teaser. And I thought it was so funny. But during the commercial, I told myself, no, it's kind of brilliant because there's a change of character in the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Lately.
Obvious,
so I stayed just to check, okay, what he's going to do. And it's kind of interesting to take the direction they go with Dallas for now.
Yeah, it is. I like the poetry. I like his new aggressive style. I felt that he incorporated a little bit of his brother into his character. Just a little bit mysterious, a little bit more angry. I kind of like that. I thought it was well done. And what he did was something that's not always easy to do. He took a jobber squash match and made it somewhat tolerable. I kind of dug it, man.
Yeah.
I'm liking what they're doing with Bo Dallas right now.
But one thing that pisses me off, I might come from Montreal, but that ginger guy, Sami Zayn, you can't do that. You can't say the gift of Jericho sucks because he's a legend. And you can't say that Kevin Owens is his bitch. No way. No way.
I thought Sammy was amazing, man. I thought he was so good. I loved that segment. I loved it. Jericho slapping him with that phone almost made me piss myself. Almost made me piss myself.
And then a code breaker.
Then the code in the leather pants. A code breaker in leather pants, man. That's impressive. That's right, baby.
But because even Corey Graves, he praised Jericho before the match. It wasn't a match. He said he's a journalist of the higher order, and he's right. He's better than Anderson Cooper, and
he is. Yes.
So you have to respect Jericho for what he did and what he is, and so Sami Zayn, be careful.
Oh man, a fellow Quebecer telling Sami Zayn to watch his shit.
He might be a ginger tainer like Heath Slater, but no way.
Very fair. Anything else you got for me, Mr. Frenchie?
As you, I liked the beginning and the end of Raw. No. The only last thing was I liked the finishing moves of Owens when he did a fisherman suplex, and he even bit Roman Reigns like Mad Dog Vachon.
He did. It felt, you know what I love about Kevin Owens is that when he's overmatched by a physical specimen like Roman Reigns, he makes you believe that he's overmatched. He bit that motherfucker. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and he goes faster into his moves when he can.
Yes. Like
so
the ending with the cannonball, the multiple cannonballs, that was a great spot. I loved it.
So that's it for me. Continue to do what you do, Dave. Maybe not MMA because there's a lot of critics. You know.
Oh, they hated me, huh? Jesus. But you know, I won a bunch of them over. I won a bunch of them over in the comments section. I did. I had to use my soldier card to do it. But damn it, they're gonna come in and call me a fat pig. I'm gonna tell you why I'm a fat pig because I am fat. It's fair, but I'm gonna let you know why.
Yeah, people are funny on the internet.
It's okay.
I like it.
40,000 fucking hits. Eat my dick. Eat it with a nice big old side of applesauce. Tell me how it tastes. You know what I'm saying? Ben, that was the call of the month, what you just did. Thank you so much. Fantastic job, my friend.
Thank you.
You need to do that more often. I'm going to put you to work, dude.
Oh, no. Work again. And I'm good. I'm not getting paid.
Well, I mean, when I start making decent money, you will get paid. I promise you that. I promise you that.
We'll talk about that.
Ben, I appreciate it, my friend. Have yourself a good night, and I'll see you at the SmackDown review.
Yeah.
Take it easy, buddy. We're still taking calls live on Skype. David Vancura and the number 702-751-2902. Last calls because we are creeping in on an hour, which I did not want to do. But you know what? Hey, calls are good, so we're going to stick with them for a few more minutes. Let's fire through these last few. The Drep. What's going on, buddy? You're live with Dead on Dave. Drep.
What's up, man, Dave?
Whoa,
congratulations on 3,000
you're eating the microphone.
subs.
Holy shit, you're eating the microphone. You okay? Hold on. Back up. There you go. What you got for me, Drep?
I don't know.
A little bit. It's tolerable. What you got for me, bud?
Well, just saying congratulations on 3,000 subs, man. Strong. That's congratulations, man. And I think Raw, honestly, I wanted the Cool Rocks just to put me away for the night, man.
Really? I didn't think it was that bad, man. I really didn't. I pretty much enjoyed it.
Tired of these squash matches. These things got to go. At least Braun Strowman wasn't on the TV this week, at least. But Nia Jax just...
You know, Nia and at least the squash matches this week were different than they've been. Bo Dallas' squash match I thought was rather effective with a guy that actually got cheered by the crowd. I thought that was kind of cool. Also, Nia Jax with her squash match with an actual, full-time competitor. I thought the finish was great. The spear through the barricade. I thought both squash matches were rather effective tonight. But I'm in agreement overall. I hate the jobber squash. I do. But, you know, it's been worse with the jobber squashes the last few weeks. I thought last week's was the least egregious of what they've been doing.
Yeah, but one thing's really on my nerves is how Bo Dallas gets this push after what he did, and yet Bray Wyatt, his brother, is just getting all this crap.
Look, Bo got drunk in an airport. He didn't get arrested or anything. He just got taken out, and he was basically fine. Or he did get arrested, but no charges or anything like that. It seems like that situation is going to be fine. Like, you don't want to give up on a talent like Bo Dallas. He's an incredible talent. Incredible in-ring guy.
I mean, so is his brother. His
brother is beyond incredible. I can't explain that shit. Yeah. I can't. Nothing I could do to explain that. But, you know, it is what it is, man. What can I say?
Yeah. I think both their talents, I'd rather see them be used in TNA because I think it's just WWE's not going to use them to their fullest.
TNA never used anybody properly. What the hell? I don't want anyone to go to TNA. The greatest
Look what they're doing right now.
The TNA is not doing anything right now. They're not doing anything at all. Yes, TNA is at its
great.
No, get out of here with that shit. What's great? Tell me what's great. What do you love? Do you love the over-dramatized fucking crap that they're putting out in the goddamn overproduced segments? Do you like people shooting fireworks at each other? Or do you like the botch fest fucking matches that are filmed so piss poorly that you can't even get invested emotionally into it? What specifically do you like about TNA? Please tell me. I need to know.
I can't be specific.
Yeah, man. Of course you can't, because there's nothing fucking there. Good God,
right,
Drap.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry I can't be specific, but I just want to get my
you know that's a problem, right? If you can't be specific about what you like about something, it's probably because you're forcing yourself to like it. But it's okay, Drap. To each his own. And if you know what, at the end of the day with wrestling, if you're entertained, that's all that matters. So if you find entertainment there or at Lucha or at anywhere else, God bless you for it.
Yep.
All right,
man.
I'm
going to get out of here. I think Raw was a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, you're not too far behind my rating, so that's not bad at all. I appreciate it, Drep. You have yourself a good night, and thank you for the congratulations, my friend.
Dude, yep.
Take it easy, buddy. Good stuff out of the... I can't tell you what I like about it, but I like it. They're doing great things. Cannot tell you what they are, but they're great. Yeah, it's great. It's good stuff. All right. That's about all I got, man. I hope you enjoyed this one. Stick with me tonight. We're going to SmackDown. That's right. I'm going to go take my ass a little bit of a nap, and I'm going to be back for SmackDown in just a couple of hours from now. So hopefully you'll be here. Thank you very much for joining me right here on the Copious review of Monday Night Raw on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. Hey, we're over 3,000 now, kids. We're starting out to be such a little pimple fart. We're still a pimple fart, but we're a less pussy pimple fart. So that's good. We're drying out, and that's important. All right. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious, folks. Make sure you're checking out Tommy C over at Shot from the Point. He's been interviewing some great YouTubers as of late, doing very good stuff. And happy birthday, Jeff Huffman. 22, Jeff Huffman. Happy friggin' birthday, my friend. Happy birthday to you. If I sing that song, I'll get sued. I'm out of here. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious. Peace.